Hi there everybody, it's Verity here from inkbutterfly.com. Thank you so much for joining me today, and this is our Stampin' Up UK video hop that we're doing today. So please do click into the description and look at all the other links to all the other YouTube videos that are available today, and they're all featuring a theme about new beginnings and things like that. So that could be anything indeed, but I've decided just to go with some new products. So this is the first chair I've created with new stuff from the mini catalogue that's going to launch in a few days time. So this catalogue will go live on the 4th of January, I believe. No, 5th of January. So this is the new January to April mini catalogue. Can't show you the inside, but there it is, it's available, and as a demonstrator I've been able to order some products in advance of that catalogue launch date to customers. So this is what we're doing today. So like I say, everyone in the video hop will have made something different using different stuff, so please do check it out. There'll be loads of inspiration, I am sure. So the set I've selected to work with is the Queen Bee bundle. So this is a brand new cling stamp set, obviously with this lovely bee image as its focal point, and some nice words to go along with that, and some coordinating dies there. So lots of flexibility to either stamp or stamp and die cut, and even create embellishments and things like that as well, just using the dies. So there's going to be loads that we can do with this. So today we're going to replicate the card I've got there in front of you. Excuse me. Using those elements. So this particular sample features some new ribbon too. So obviously stamps and dies all sort of speak for themselves, as I've just shown you, and we've die cut the bee there. Bit of distressing around the edge, and this ribbon is a new ribbon. This is grosgrain ribbon in Pool Party, and it is very beautiful, really nice soft ribbon, and as you can see it ties very nice tidy bows there, very easy to work with. Okay, so the colours I've used here, we have got Memento for the outlines, we've got basic grey for the text and the layering, and then I've got Smoky Slate in the background, and it's sort of all the greys and themes. And then I've used the Daffodil Delight blends marker there for the flowers. But I like to give you some different colour options, so we're going to switch it up and use the warmer neutrals. So we're going to go with the browns rather than the greys for the sample today. So I've got my white card base, usual size and dimensions, and then I've got a white card layer here, slightly smaller than usual, but you create your layer the size you want. And then I've got Early Espresso as my matte layer there. Okay, so that's that bit. Okay, so we'll put those to one side just a second while we work on doing our stamping and stuff. So I'm actually going to bring in mini grid paper today to work on. There's loads of different stamping surfaces that we can use. We can use this wonderful deluxe stamping mat. We can use this. We've got the mini grid paper, we've got large grid paper. You could just work on copy paper if you want, but it is a bit on the thinner side, so you might want to double it up. Loads of different ways that we can achieve the look we want. Alright, so as you can see, I use these bits of paper until they can't be used anymore really. And then I've got a scrap of white for the die cutting elements as well. Alright, in fact let's do that first. Let's do the bee. Beautiful detailed stamp, and then we're going to stamp that with Early Espresso ink. So we're going to get that nice and well inked up with lots of light tapping on the ink pad and sort of moving the stamp around to make sure that that is coated. Okay, and if you turn it over you can see it's coated. and we're just going to place that onto this scrap around there, just making sure that we've got room for the die to go around the edge. Just holding that down and making sure that ink transfers beautifully across. So that's wonderful, isn't it? Okay, really lovely detail in those wings there. Okay, and while we're here, we're also going to stamp our little our word. So I've picked out Queen there, so we'll just stamp that here. Again, we'll have room to wrap the die around that. Okay, so those can just dry for a second while we do our bits and pieces onto our background layer. So as with the sample, we're going to do some lighter ink in the background for this sort of lovely distressed text. So I'm going to leave the espresso there, but I'm going to bring in Sahara Sand, which is a nice pale brown colour, and we're just going to pop this text over the background a little bit haphazardly, and you've got words like flower, bloom, life, miracles, honey, together, spring and grow. That's what it sort of says if you look closely at it. So we've got that in the background, and then we're going to use our espresso ink again. Let's just move that out of the way to stamp the outline images of that lovely foliage and flowers and things. It's a very nice image, very similar to our, is it Daisy Garden or Dandelion Garden? Could be Dragonfly Garden, can't remember. But there's a similar kind of image in one of our stamp sets in the annual catalogue as well. So this is something, you know, if you don't like this particular set, this sort of concept can work with a few other sets as well. So we've got our sort of key image there, but we're also just going to pop a little bit of extra detail just to fill it in a little bit around the sides here. So I'm just putting those extra couple of images in across the top and down the bottom there, just to sort of frame that up a little bit. Okay, and now we can do a little bit of colouring. So let's just pop away these ink pads just for a moment while we do that. And I say colouring, it's the images are really small. We're not going to be doing any blending per se, really. We just want to get some colour onto that image. So this is Flirty Flamingo, so I used yellows on this one, yellow and grey, sort of very classic combination. So for this one we're going to go chocolate and strawberry, basically, bit brown and pink, and we're going to use the darker marker for this background image and just add that colour in. And again, it's like I say, this isn't nothing like a colouring masterclass in any way, shape or form. This is just dropping some colour in. I'm not even being that careful with either filling it or necessarily staying in the lines. We just want to get that colour on there. Some of the little shapes there look like they're more buds rather than leaves, so you can't really go wrong. Just like I say, just get that colour applied, and having these bits stamped off the edge here just gives it a more sort of finished look in. Like so. That's a bud, I think. And I think that one is too. Like I say, it doesn't probably matter that much. And And then I'm going to go in there with the Old Olive marker. Again, I say open spaces, they're barely open spaces on this image, but you know, just a dab of colour in there, in the bits that look like they're open. You could completely leave it if you want to. I don't think it would matter if you left those uncoloured, but the option is there for you if you want. So just popping a bit here and there on that, but not being too fussy about it. So that's our background almost done. There's a bit of blending to do on the back, but we'll do that in a bit. And then likewise on our image of our bee, there is some beautiful detail in those wings, and there are some leaves, as you can see there. So I'm just going to pop that Old Olive in on here. On the original sample I actually used soft sea foam. It was a very pale colour, but I'm just going to go with this slightly darker shade. This is the light marker of the combo, the Old Olive combo. But again, you know, there's lots of different green markers you can use, and I'm using blends. I've used water-based ink, so I'm going to use alcohol-based markers. And then I'm going to colour the flowers with the light flamingo. So we used dark on this one. I'm going to use a light marker for these flowers, and again it's more of a what do we call it, an indication of some colour being applied, rather than necessarily really detailed colouring. So literally just squiggling that on. Okay, doesn't have to be scary using those markers at all. Okay, so we're just going to leave it like that, and you can see it's not the neatest colouring in the world, but it doesn't matter at all. And then the heart there, so on my original I've actually accented the pool party with the ribbon. Now I'm going to use a different ribbon on the sample, as you probably gather. So actually I'm just going to drop in some crumb cake there, which I believe is this one. Yep. Probably should have done the lighter one, but done. Or left it white. Could have left it white actually, or even done it with the darker floaty flamingo. In fact, I might add some. Yeah. Okay. So that's that. So you can mess about with the colour and everything. We can die cut the words very easily. So we've got a nice straight edge on this die, which means we can line that up reasonably easily. And just looking to have those sort of tag bits on the end kind of equidistant from the edge of the letters there, and then the bee die fits lovely over the top of that image. So if you just line up the edge of that, the bottom of the body there, and then the tips of the wings, the rest will just follow there. These will fit through the mini, but I have my Big Boss set up just to the side here, so I'll just run those through my Big Boss, and then we'll do a bit of blending around the edge of our little panel there. Just making sure that die's firmly in place. Oops. Just moved something and it's in the way of my handle, so I just had to craft room looks a bit like a bomb fitted because I'm trying to sort out my retiring products as well, and got my new stuff kind of unpacked but not yet in its final resting place, if you know what I mean. So there we go, there's our die cut elements there, all ready to go, and they're going to go up onto some dimensional, so we'll just pop those to one side for a second. And then just to finish off this panel, we just need to bring in a blending brush. Now, news flash for you, I'm just going to grab something else. I want to use the big one because I'm using a larger and I want a nice big soft blending image, but we do have small blending brushes available in our new mini catalogue, and just for a size comparison, I would say they're approximately half the size. Okay, so we can use those for the more detailed bits and pieces, and we've got some new stencils as well, or masks I should say, which will be good for this kind of thing. So if you were after smaller brushes, we are going to be having them. Exactly the same bristle sort of depth and density, just in a smaller head. Okay, but for today's project I want that, I'm going to be doing a larger area and I want that nice soft look, so I want the larger brush for that. And again, we're going to use that lighter colour, the Sahara Sand. So apply the ink to the brush, just rubbing over the top, but you want to take off a lot of that excess ink. Okay, it looks like a lot on that paper, but it isn't a lot really. And then we're going to come in really gently from the edge and swirl in, holding the brush at the away from the head, if you like, the brush head, which means it just going to softly go around the edge of that. I'm going to apply just a smidge more ink to that, but not as much as I did originally. And again, starting off the paper, or I should say the cardstock layer, and then coming onto the layer really nice and gently in this circular motion. So if you want it a bit darker, just keep going and just build up that colour as you want it. Okay, so that gives you a really nice sort of so with the browns you get that sort of sepia antique look, which is really nice with the pink, I think. So we don't need that anymore. So just a bit of assembly to do. Okay, so we'll just bring in our early espresso layer here, and we'll just use our Stampin' Seal. This is my go-to adhesive. For those of you who watch me regularly, you'll see me do that. And we'll layer that up onto there, and then likewise onto the card base. So we just need to add our decorative elements. So we've got some dimensionals to add to this, so just a single layer of dimensionals onto the sentiment, but for the B, oops, I'm going to double them up, so we've got that extra bit of height. So just remove the backings off this layer and add another one on top. Like so. I'm going to take those backings off so they're ready to go. And then I'm going to bring you in another ribbon set, which is a duo pack of ribbon. Okay, so it's real red and it's called burlap ribbon. Okay, so this is a pair that coordinates with one of the other new sweets in the catalogue. So if we pop these open, I just sort of squeeze that cellophane and just open it up like that. I've chucked that over there when that's not the bin at all. So the red ribbon is slightly thinner, and it's one of those really nice smooth ribbons, really nice, sort of bit of a satin sort of feel to it, but with a grosgrain texture. Okay, so that's going to tie really nice cute bows as well. That's nice. And it's like I say, it's a thinner, it's more of a ½ inch, is it, maybe? Okay, which is cute. And then the burlap ribbon, it doesn't have it's woven like burlap, but it is much softer. You would burlap, I think of like, you know, like sackcloth or whatever, but this is really nice and thin, pliable, quite soft, and you've got this really nice white stitching along the edge there. And again, so this is a much wider ribbon, so this looks like it's about 1/2 inch, 5/8. So we're going to get a bit of a chunkier bow out of this one, but nonetheless it ties really beautifully. Okay, so there we go, nice knot on that, and then if you hold your tails together and cut those at the same time, you're going to get your tails nice and even. Okay, and sometimes if you flip it over it sits even better, so just want to get that to sit where it needs to. Okay, and we're going to position that onto our card. So we want to have the bow in position so that we then know where everything else needs to sit. Okay, so I prefer to use a glue dot to adhere ribbons and bows. So I'm just going to press a couple onto the back of that. So I've had these glue dots for a long time, so some of them have dried out. So there we go, that's the one. I think that's the only roll of glue dots I've ever had, so I've had them for a very long time. Okay, so we're going to press that into place so we know where that's got to go. Just going to pop those away. And then our sentiment's going to tuck in there, close enough but not so close that you obscure the lettering. Could apply some ink to that as well, but I think the contrast of having it bright white against that blended background is really nice. Likewise with the edge of this, you just see that sort of peep out. So we're just going to add that across, and that dimensional will sort of act as a bit of a stopper behind there, so that I know that's as low as it can go, and we'll pop that in there. The only other little thing that is nice to add will be a little bit of Wink of Stella Shimmer Pen. So we'll just pop a bit of that onto those flowers on those wings there as well. Okay, and that is it. Really, really cute card. Like both actually. I think I do like the grey. I think it's just a fresher look, and it's more my sort of style, if you like. But each to their own. So if you like the more sort of sepia and vintage tones, go for that. If you want a bit more of a fresher look, go for this. Or, you know, change it completely, do something else. Okay, so just some serving suggestions for you there. That's featuring the Queen Bee stamp set and coordinating dies from the new mini catalogue, which will launch on the 5th of January. Okay, so links to these products won't be available yet, but I'll link in some of all the inks and things for you, so you can check those out ahead of time. And then, like I say, just if you're interested in purchasing anything from the new catalogue, have a look back on the website and have a browse there. Also, don't forget to click the description, look at all the other links that are in there for the other YouTubers that are participating in the blog hop this evening. Sorry, I say blog hop, video hop this evening. Okay, thanks ever so much. Hope you've enjoyed that. Catch you again soon. Take care. Stay safe. See you soon.